So here I am just testing out the garland. I initially planned on actually wrapping it around the wreath, but I realized it wasn't long enough. It was a 9-foot garland, but it was not long enough. To start off, I am just tying the garland around the wreath, and then I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue just to keep it in place. So to make it easier on myself, I am starting the garland wrapping process on the part of the wreath where that horizontal bar is. I hot glue a strip there, then I am creating like an overlay or a zigzag pattern and just hot gluing little dots on the 4 different bars of the wreath. So again, I am just doing it this way because I want to conserve the material as best as I can, and this is the first thing that kind of came to mind. Wow, just enough garland to finish it off. See, I told you it was very important to try your best to conserve as much material as you could. Now here I am just going back through the wreath and just covering up any parts that you could still see the wiring or any parts that I just felt stuck out a little bit too much. For the bow, it had some wiring on the back, so I just stuck those through the wreath and looped them around, and then I just added some additional hot glue just to secure it in place because I felt like it was a little bit heavy and it was hanging off. So for Mr. Snowman here, I was initially going to untie the string and then like tie him around, but then it was kind of easier just to hot glue him on there. And be careful because I always happen to burn myself with a hot glue gun. But I just kind of tried to map out where the center point of my wreath was and just glued him right on. And I glued him onto the back part of the wreath, so you want to hide it. And then I think I just glued a little green piece over it just to cover it a little bit more. So initially, I really wanted to put a lot of crap on this one little wreath, and I do mean little because when I got it home, it actually was littler than what my little big imagine could think of. So I wanted to put all those little outfits on there, but I just did not have the space really, and I kind of go back and forth here on what to do, but you'll see later in the video what I actually do. grabbing these right here. I'm gonna pin them right here and on the sides. I just feel like the feet should be very down. So let me get some scissors and chop them off and then redo them. So like I said, the elf's feet were very problematic. So I just snipped them bad boys off and cut them straight down the middle and just glue them on to the bottom of my wreath. Wrapping around the bow, of course. And that's that for those feet. So I thought it would be a blessing, but it wound up being a curse. So the ornaments that came, they didn't come. But LOL. Anyway, the ornaments I got from Dollar Tree, they had a string that came with them, and I tried to make that the string that would like hang on to my wreath hanger, and it was just a flop. So I just wound up using some yarn I had that was burgundy, and that just worked a lot better. So in the process of getting up, I almost killed myself for one, but this little string piece fell off, so I have to find another way to secure that. I'm thinking of just putting a rubber band. Yeah, so do not use a rubber band, because if you put it outside, the rubber band will most likely pop or either erode. So use either ribbon or yarn. That's your best bet, unless you have like some outdoor industrial rubber bands or something. But yeah, don't do that, just use yarn. Oh, and it's so glittery. I love it. Okay, let me go to the door and get some more glitter. So sad and unfortunate disclaimer, the wreath did not make it. My door is just so hot. It's actually a metal door, and so when I came back home the next day, and I do mean the next day, all of the ornaments were on the ground because the hot glue had reheated and melted. I blame global warming.